I don't know, I just feel like we like spoke about like, you're literally saying like if I left, like you'd leave with me and you'd want to go. And
I know.
if the roles were reversed, I would have went with you, and now I'm going and it's different. If I had my time over, I probably would have invested a lot more time into Tyra.
Watching Love Island is scary. It really is, because people that you think are going to be the nicest people show you their colors and you're like shocked, like how can you go from saying this to suddenly you're saying something totally different. To think that Nakkia was making it out to seem like she was closed off and Kale was it for her. I think she liked the idea of winning Kale when he first came in, and I think she liked playing the role, but at least when things ended, she didn't treat him the way Tia treated Nate. So I have to give her credit for that. But it's sad. It's sad with the results. Oh, that was a complete blindside because nobody expected that. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 5, Episode 13. Might as well call it Zach's Villa, because the producers, the way they're catering to Zach is unbelievable. Because obviously after Tia and Ryan have gone, they then send a text message to say, can all the islanders decide whether they want Zach and Lucinda to recouple? And it's like, when did that start? When did we ever had such a situation? It doesn't make sense to me, because normally people would wait until the fire pit and then they would choose who they want to recouple with. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so the islanders then have a conversation led by Trent to say, oh, let's get them to write a poem. I think he just wanted Zach to sort of apologize for everything that he had said or done. And so they wrote this very silly, very shallow poems that didn't make any sense to me, and then everybody said, okay, fine, you can recouple. And it's like, oh, okay, do whatever you want just to make them happy, since you feel they are the main characters of the season. But I don't think so, because Zach has been nothing but terrible to fellow islanders. And then you have Nate and Georgia go for a chat, and it was so cute to see them share their first kiss, and the way they were both smitten after they kissed was so cute. The way Georgia was excited, and Nate couldn't help himself. Even in the beach hut, he couldn't even have a proper conversation. He was still giddy from the kiss. And to see, Georgia run and tell someone, she told Nakkia that, oh, Nate and I shared a kiss. It was so cute. And then it started spreading like wildfire in the villa. And you had, Aiden sort of telling Tyra that, oh, did you hear about Nate's kiss with Georgia? And it's like, oh, that's sweet. And the fact that everybody says it's cute shows you that they actually truly believe in this sort of budding couple, which I think is amazing. You have, Kale and Nakkia, they're on cloud 9. They're making it up in bed. And before the islanders go to bed, you have Sav sort of pull Lucinda for a chat to say she's worried that she's getting hot and cold signals from Trent. And it's like, where have you been? Finally, you're on the train. We've all noticed this from a long time ago. We're surprised you haven't noticed that, Trent is really not feeling you. He's just using you to buy time until he finds his match, or until he finds someone he likes. He cried more about Zach possibly going home than he would ever cry about you recoupling with somebody else or you going home. So make it make sense. I don't get what you see in this guy, because he definitely does not see anything in you, and it doesn't seem to be really romantically interested in you. He's in with you because you're convenient, but that's just it. When the islanders go to bed, oh my god, you have people making out. Lucinda might as well every day she's making out with Zach, and it's like, this guy hasn't done anything to deserve everything you're giving him, but hey, it is what it is. And then Georgia and Nate, oh my god, they're busy eating each other's faces off. They can't seem to get enough of one another, because Georgia was saying, now that we've shared the awkwardness of the first kiss, now everything is, all go. And I am here for the guys sort of being green with envy, because Nate keeps having things that they are having to work very hard for. They just fall in his lap. Every girl that they've wanted has just, been attracted to Nate. So I can't wait to see what happens. So the girls receive a text message to say that they'll be going on a date. They're going for a cruise with some wine, and it seems like it's going to be amazing. And the guys sort of stay back thinking that they are the ones that are going to receive the bombshell, because normally when something like this happens, you know that a bombshell is coming. So the girls thought that since the last time the boys went away, that's when Ryan and Aiden came, they assumed that a girl bombshell was coming in. And well, it wasn't to be. Actually, it was a boy bombshell that came in. Andy, he's 27, he's from the USA, but he lives on the Gold Coast at the moment. I don't know how to feel about him. He seems okay. He seems okay. The girls were really excited. Sav was really excited. And the problem with Sav is every time she sees a bombshell, she's ecstatic until Trent has a conversation, or until Zach has a conversation with her. And then, they're back to square one. She's turning the people away. She's focused on, whoever she's in a couple with. And it's just like, Trent is not feeling you. You yourself know Trent is not feeling you. So why are you continuing to put effort in something that's not working? Why not focus on someone new, someone that might actually be your person? And so he then pulls the girls for a chat, because all the girls say they're open. And surprisingly, the girls say it's only Nakkia who's not open. Otherwise, everybody else is fair game. And I'm like, but didn't Lucinda and Zach just agree that they're now closed off and they're not going to entertain anybody else? Make it make sense. And even when Lucinda sat down with Andy, she said, oh, it's been quite rough. It's been up and down. And he questioned her that, what do you mean it's been up and down? I think Lucinda's only in a couple with Zach because the producers wanted to stay in a couple with Zach. And sadly for her, well, I think she stayed with him for that reason, and then she caught feelings for him, and now she's in a place whereby she's gone from having to stay with him for the sake of staying with him to suddenly having feelings for someone that she really didn't like. And so I think this is why she's always trying to get other guys to pick her, because she really is not happy in her couple. I might be wrong. Anyway, the guys receive a text message and the picture of Andy with the girls. And Zach is, let's work out. Oh, everybody else should be nervous. And it's like, I don't think Lucinda and you are as good a pair as the two of you make out you to be. I think you're good for ratings, that's it. But I don't think you're good to be a romantic couple. So I don't get where that's coming from. We didn't really see him have a conversation, Andy, with Nakkia. I don't know whether it's because Nakkia said she's closed off and she's only interested in Kale, or what actually happened there. Most of the other girls seemed to be really on board with having conversations with him, so we'll see. Oh, that was too quick. I was too quick to speak. Anyway, you have Sav have a conversation. Sav, I think, puts a lot of guys off because of the way she speaks and how crass she can be. So even though they share the same tattoos and they seem to have, some common interests, I don't think Andy's going to pick her. I might be wrong. I think if he chooses not to go against anybody else, that's why he might end up picking her. But it seemed he got on very well with Georgia. But Georgia said she's in a couple. She's been in it for 3 days. Nate is a very nice guy. She said she really likes him, but she's open to getting to know him. And I'm like, oh, at least she said he's very nice, which means Nate must be that nice for someone who's new there to say that. And then, oh my God, Nakkia's head is turning. Because she said, yes, we are solid, but she sort of hinted that she's open to getting to know Andy. So I feel sorry for Kale if she does recouple with Andy, because that will be out of left field. That will be something he didn't see coming. And it's a pity, but this is Love Island. The guys receive a message that sort of deflates their balloons, in the sense that they're told that whoever Andy picks to couple up with, their guy is going home, and everybody's starting to think, oh my God, is it me? Well, and you can see Nate is worried because he's only been in a couple for 3 days and he doesn't know where they stand. And because a lot of guys have been pulling Georgia for a chat, I think he thinks it might be him. Zach said, I'm a 7 out of 10, I'm confident. But Kale was honest and he said, look at what happened with Ryan. I don't trust anyone and I don't trust anything, so anything is possible, so I'll just have to wait and see. And it's like, oh, this is scary. And then you have Reed. We didn't even see his reaction, but the guys are scared. The guys are scared because they don't know who's going home and who's staying, but they know for a fact that one of them is definitely going home. You can see that Aiden is worried because he is the latest bombshell guy. So obviously he is worried that maybe Tyra might decide she wants to get to know the new guy. They haven't closed things off, but it seems on Love Island closing things off doesn't mean anything. Look at what happened to Zach and Lucinda. So we'll see. It was a bit dramatic, wasn't it? So the guys gather around the fire pit. Sophie arrives and she reveals that the girls will be coming one by one, and the final two will come with Andy, and then he will get to pick who he wants. And it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So first up is Tyra, and you can see the relief on Aiden's face. He is relieved. That makes sense. I think she has better chemistry with Aiden. Even Ben and her, there was that age difference that really showed a lot in how they handle situations, although Ben behaved a bit more maturely for his age. Next up is Abby, and I'm surprised though. I thought she'd have been interested. I don't get what she sees in Reed though, unless the two of them have decided to ride this till the end, unless they were promised that if they stayed in a couple, they would stay till the end since Kira's gone home, because Kira is the reason why they're both on the show. And then obviously we have Lucinda come back. Am I surprised? No. The producers were always going to save Zach. Whatever the reason was, I don't know. So I'm not surprised that Lucinda wasn't one of the final two. Zach was shaking in his boots. But anyway, he's happy. The way I screamed when the doors opened, because now it's Nate, Kale and Trent left, and so one of their girls was going to come through the door, and I had my fingers crossed for Nate because I love Nate. So when Georgia walked in, the relief, the shout, the way I jumped, I was so ecstatic because I really love this for Nate. He needs someone who chooses him. He's always been choosing people and they haven't always put him first. So the idea that he gets this opportunity to still continue to pursue his connection with Georgia is something that I love. And I get a feeling that it could be Kale going home because the producers keep sort of highlighting Kale all the time. And I don't know whether it's very nervous. And the fact that Nakkia can't look him in the face when she comes is the reason for me to think that, Kale could be going home, which is really sad. But hey, it is what it is. All it takes is somebody else to walk in and sort of tick some of the boxes that you haven't ticked and someone's head will be turned. I guess I called it. And also, given the fact that Trent is Zach's minion, I don't think the producers would want Zach left in the villa on his own without anyone to sort of feed off his mess or whatever nonsense he's trying to preach. So I wasn't surprised that, Andy didn't pick Savannah and instead he picked Nakkia because of the way they kept showing, Kale's face. I feel sorry for Kale in the sense that he had this idea of his relationship with Nakkia, and sadly, she is allowed to change her mind. She is allowed to choose somebody else or have a stronger connection with somebody else. But I think Kale, as I said before, he was more attracted to Tyra, but Tyra took a step back because Nakkia said, I really like him, and trying to be a girl's girl, Tyra then took a step back, and Kale listened when Tyra said, Nakkia really likes you, so I'm taking a step back because I'm a girl's girl. And so he's stuck in this couple with someone who liked him, but not enough to fully commit. Yes, she spoke about going to the Gold Coast. She spoke about, them continuing their couple and sort of being closed off. But when the time came, and she spoke about, going home with him if he was ever eliminated, when the time came, she recoupled with somebody else and he had no choice but to go home, and he was upset. And then you have Zach feeding onto that. Zach has a lot of disrespect for women, in my opinion, from what I've seen. The way he speaks to the female islanders is not it. The way he's disrespectful, belittling and discouraging is unacceptable. The boys were all very sad. Nate was sad because I think once his friend Ollie left, he had no one to sort of feed off, and it seems like Kale was one of the more sort of respectable guys in the fella, someone who seemed more sort of honest and sort of caring and compassionate towards his fellow islanders. And I think this is why he got along with Nate. Nakkia tried to speak to him, but he wasn't having it. At first he was upset, and I think the producers ended up having to ask him to have a conversation with Nakkia. So they had this conversation, and he brought up the fact that they had both agreed that they would go home if one of them was voted out. And Nakkia said, well, yeah, that was yesterday, but today's a different day. Yesterday's prize ain't today's prize, as Fat Joe said. So you could see he was heartbroken, and he regretted not pursuing things with Tyra, because he realized that maybe he should have kept open to Tyra, or he should have kept having conversations with her even though she said no, and maybe he would have got her head to turn, because Tyra confesses that she had a crush on Kale for a while, but then she got over it. I think Aiden really turned her head, and so she wasn't interested in anybody else. And so it's sad for Kale that when he gets home, he's going to realize that he made a mistake. And so I don't know. It's I don't know how to feel about it. It was a great episode, though. I really enjoyed it. Now I'm back home, I can actually catch up with my shows. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 12. Bye guys.